Yo, YouTube, what is up? Radar25 back in with my co-host Michael Fuentemania for the third time today.
What's up, Marks?
Guys, this is our third video of the day. We dropped two earlier. Make sure you check those out. This is our Summerslam recap and review. Summerslam just ended about half hour ago, so we're recording this, drop it for you guys. The show overall was a pretty solid show. It was one of the better SummerSlams in recent memory. A lot of cool things happening here, especially the ending. We had a surprise return, and I won't spoil if you guys haven't seen it. I won't get to it yet, but it's a big one.
Let's say pretty huge.
Pretty huge. But overall, good performances on the show, and a lot going on here. For our rating system for this one, we're going to use, since it's a big show, it's one of the big four of the year, we're going to use the well-known, the well-renowned enhancement talent, Barry Horowitz. That's the one we're going to choose for this one. So let's get right into it. Before we do, I want to remind you guys to drop a like on this video and the other two videos that dropped today and all previous videos. Hit the subscribe button if you're watching this video or the other two that dropped today. And you're not subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel. Notification bell so you get notified when new videos drop, like the two that dropped earlier today and this one. Also for live streams, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch for the live streams. Join the Discord so we can talk about wrestling. Without further ado, guys, let's jump right into it. Our recap and review of SummerSlam 2020. We're start off with the kickoff show, which is, I think, more interesting than the turnout of this match was that the kickoff show was dubbed the last hurrah because Renee Young has announced that she's leaving the company. I don't think she's going to AEW, and everybody's like, oh, she's going to go with her husband in AEW. I think she's probably got like sports things going on that they're asking her to join on.
I wouldn't be surprised if she's doing the NFL and the Fox. You know what I'm saying?
She's probably got like a Fox deal going down, maybe FS1 or Fox for the NFL game stuff. Yeah,
for sure. I think that's her next step. I think she's getting away from wrestling and going to the big time. So good for her. She's great at her job. So yeah.
Yeah. So don't everybody come out and say, oh, she's going to AEW because I think she's done with wrestling. She uses it as a platform to catapult herself into mainstream sports, and I think with the thing that helped her the most was WWE signing with Fox, so they're going there. Yeah. But let's get into the match. It was a kickoff show. Apollo Crews, the U.S. champion, versus MVP, the challenger. This wasn't one of their better matches, and I just don't know why it was relegated to the kickoff show. I mean, it was one of the more higher profile matches, storylines on Monday Night Raw, and it just got brought down to the kickoff show. Apollo Crews gets the win here. It wasn't much. I don't know. This match was like they've had a better match before. This one really didn't hit that well. Crews got the win, and Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin hit the ring afterwards, but Crews was able to get out of there. Hopefully the feud isn't over yet. I mean, because I don't know, for me, the Hurt Business got like a hot start, and then drop back down, and they got to get back up to where it was. I'm going to give this one Barry Horowitz, mostly because it went down to the kickoff show, and they've had better matches before. And this one took a little too long to get started, and it really never got going from there on.
It was a huge disappointment to see it on the pre-show. They invested so much time in all these guys over the last, month, 2 months, and it's just like, you're going to put them on the pre-show? Seriously? Like the Hurt Business, you're pushing the Hurt Business, you're pushing Apollo, and it almost feels like, oh, we overbooked everything. Like sometimes I'm like, why do we even have a pre-show? Why do we have a talk show about SummerSlam or events? It doesn't make any sense. Who watches the pre-show? Just put it part of the main card. It makes it feel cheap. It cheapens everything. So you just cheapen 2 months of us being invested into the storyline, and it kind of ruins the Hurt Business, and it ruins Apollo's run as U.S. champion because it's not even important enough to be on the main show. I give this a 0.5 Barry Horowitz. I don't know how you could put that out there, but the match wasn't good. The place for the match sucked. You wasted our time for the last 2 months on this storyline, and hopefully you didn't ruin the Hurt Business. Hopefully they'll come out on top and you make something interesting. We have news of somebody showing up on Raw tomorrow. That's pretty huge news. We'll see maybe if he gets involved with something. I don't know. We'll see. But this was real disappointing to see them on the pre-show.
Okay, I'll agree with you. Let's give it a half. Barry Horowitz there on our predictions. When we did the Smackdown video, we got the predictions for the show. I believe we both chose Apollo Crews to win.
Yeah.
So you can fact check us on that. Don't remember. Been through a lot of videos lately. So fact check us on that. But I'm pretty sure we both picked Apollo, so we might be 1-1, 1-0 both each on this one. So first match of the official show. was a SmackDown Championship match, SmackDown Women's Championship match. Bayley, the champion, versus Asuka, the challenger. Asuka's first match against the Golden Role Models of the night. It was a solid match. A lot of interference from Sasha Banks, like 3 times. The third time was the charm because she took a bullet for Bayley. She took that butt bump that Asuka does and knocked her off the apron. And after her hitting that on Sasha Banks, Bayley was able to roll her up and get the win. So she retains the championship. I was wrong about this one. I said Asuka was going to win. I thought Asuka was going to win both titles. You were correct about this, saying that Bayley was going to retain. Solid match. I'm going to give it to Barry Horowitz. Very, very good. These 2 work together even from their NXT days. So they put a lot of good matches together, good solid matches. For the most part, good solid matches with Asuka against either of the 2, Sasha or Bayley. It's going to be a good solid match. Now, the circumstances around it may be convoluted and overbooked, but
Can be,
have been.
They completely are.
The fact that she's taking on both of them,
show.
It's been too much story going into this that it's just like it's too much that has been going on, and it's hurt it in general. So these matches, this stuff could have been a lot better than it has been, but it's just ever since the Extreme Rules disaster, it just kind of fell flat after that. So I'm gonna give this one to Barry Horowitz.
This gets a 1.5 Barry Horowitz, so we'll just say 2, just to be in the middle. Only reason why I'm giving it that is because these girls can go with each other. They've had a great match before, and that they say this horrible storyline that's been going on for the last month into a great match. I liked how Sasha got involved, put her body on the line for Bayley to win her friend. I liked how they attacked her after the match to make sure that they could weaken her for the Sasha match. That was a good heel move, smart heel move, something that you would do if you're the heel. But yeah, like I was just down going into this whole feud with Sasha, Bayley, Asuka. I was down on it. I just did, they really killed me right after Extreme Rules. That kind of just ruined it for me. So I'm just down on it. We'll see where this goes. It looks like later on we're gonna see. We'll explain more of what's gonna go on in the future, but Bayley and Asuka just have great chemistry, and that's the only reason why this match was watchable.
Yeah. Storyline just make it more simple. It doesn't have to be also crazy. Yeah. But next thing on the show was the Raw Tag Team Championship match. The Street Profits, the champions, versus Andrade and Angel Garza, the challenger. For some reason, Kevin Owens is on commentary here.
Yeah.
I don't really know why, but they just brought him out. He talks about he's going to be in the Kevin Owens show. He's going to do the Kevin Owens show tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw and have Aleister Black as a guest.
Right. Yeah.
I don't really know what's going on with that, but
Tune
whatever.
in, guys.
Yeah. A lot of fire, obviously, and excitement from the Street Profits, especially Montez Ford on his part. He had an insane 5-star frog splash where he kind of spinned in air on hitting it.
Freak of an athlete.
But I like the team of Andrade and Angel Garza. They're both very good. Selena took a bump in this one, and while Andrade was checking her, that's how Montez Ford was able to hit that frog splash on Angel Garza and get the win. So they retain the titles. I'm going to give this match 1 Barry Horowitz. Not a ton going on here. And, I don't know. I just feel like the tag team division is very weak, especially on both shows. And, I don't know. I don't know what the Street Profits are doing for me right now. I think I'm still have residual feelings from that whole Street Profits Viking Raiders tournament thing they had going on. But, they need to have more going on. What hurt this feud too was the stupid poisoning part.
Yeah.
And because the poisoning part really had no bearing on this match whatsoever. It just happened. A week later he was back, and it's just, there's nothing there. So it's not much story behind it. It's a solid match. I mean, nothing wrong with the match, but I'm taking the story into account. I'm going to give it 1 Barry Horowitz, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 1 Barry Horowitz as well. I just this whole feud just felt another thing. It just was, I don't know, man. Just not feeling the whole vibe of it. I'm not loving the fact that nothing wrong with the Street Profits. I like the Street Profits, but they just haven't had a run that's had anything memorable. They've been champs for this is before the pandemic that they've been champs, and there hasn't been anything there from them. There hasn't been anything interesting. You had a fun tag team where you can get some story out of it with the Zelina stable going on. They've been on TV forever. If they're on 8 segments a night on Raw, and it's where we're gonna go from now. I guess they're just gonna feud each other. They break up, so Zelina's gonna pick a side. I guess you're gonna pick Andrade's side, and we'll go from there. I mean, that's what it's gonna lead to. But do you really care? Them going against each other, no, you really don't care. It would have been better off if they would have won the belts and then they could have gone back and forth or something. Tag team division in WWE is maybe the worst it's been in ever, and that's saying something because it's been really bad at times.
It's not the worst it's been ever, but it's just like they feel like they have like 2 tag teams at a time, and that's it.
And that's like, I mean, that's depressing. It's just like those belts mean absolutely nothing, and they just don't mean anything. Like they don't elevate anyone that they're on. Like Cesaro and Shin on like they're just better off by themselves. I don't know. This match, one Barry Horowitz. That's it.
Yeah, not to say the match was bad, but it's just a lot of story stuff involved there too.
That didn't add to the show.
Yeah, and so they just need to have more in there for that. And then the tag team division is so weak right now, so be a little hard on it. But yeah, one Barry Horowitz. Next thing on the show, no DQ, loser leaves WWE match between Mandy Rose.
Sonya Deville. Hits.
This was good. This was really good. I enjoyed this week. I'm going right off the bat. Give it 3 Barry Horowitz are here for this match. They use some weapons here and there. They teased the table spot, but they never used it. Good job from Mandy Rose, showing a lot of fire in this match. She's improving bit by bit as a babyface, more in the past 2 to 3 weeks recently. Yeah. And she got the win here, which I was surprised. Didn't make much. I don't know how much sense it makes, the whole loser leaves WWE thing. So I mean, maybe they're giving Sonya Deville, like we said in the predictions, they're giving Sonya Deville time off because of what happened to her. They probably just asked her, look, we're gonna change the matchup. We're going to do loser leaves WWE. We'll give you time off to recover from the traumatic experience you just had. Get your affairs in order. Do what you got to do. And then maybe she has to move. I don't know, something like that. But we'll see what happens with her when she comes back. I don't know, but it's going to be exciting to see when she eventually does come back, because she'll probably either go back to fighting Mandy or maybe go after the title. But Mandy, you never know. She could eventually maybe try to go for that championship sooner rather than later. And we'll see what happens. She go after Bayley, but pretty solid babyface in Mandy Rose, and obviously she's gorgeous, so that helps her out a lot, especially for TV reasoning. But she is developing slowly as a better babyface. She gets the win here, but a solid overall match. It hit well. And it wasn't hurt by the fact that the match was supposed to be hair versus hair and then changed to this. So 3 Barry Horowitz for me.
Yeah, I'm giving it 3 Barry Horowitz as well. That match was like both girls did a great job of showing emotion, trash talking between each other. That fire of both girls did a great job. Even Mandy, that was my biggest gripe with her, was I just never felt the emotion coming out of her, like where it needed to be, like where her emotions needed to be, or you felt the anger. And this match, she brought it all out together. Yeah, she's not the most polished in the ring, and like the announcers gave that off that she isn't the most polished. She's like at this advantage against Sonya because whatever her MMA background. Yeah. And you felt that in the match that she was kind of the underdog, and they played that story so well throughout the match. They did a great job. This was a great culmination of 6 months of work, of how taking your time with storytelling and just making sure people are invested in the match. Having a great match is great, but if no one gives a hell about it, then it takes away from it. And this was just girls went out there, had a very good match with a great storyline full of bunch of emotion, a bunch of filler, a bunch of everything in there, and it just added to it. And you felt like when she won, you felt like a happiness, like a natural happiness that, you know what, she beat that bitch. She beat that loudmouth bitch, and it was great. And then you got Odie coming out, with his girl. We finally saw the Money in the Bank. We forgot that he was Money in the Bank. He came out with this, so that was good. They did the little caterpillar thing. That was great.
Mandy does a terrible caterpillar. But,
caterpillar. But, it's all right. She's hot, so it's fine.
Yeah. 3 Barry Horowitz for that match. The next thing on the show was a super exciting match, street fight. Dominik Mysterio versus Seth Rollins. Dominik there with his mother and his father. He came out to the ring to take on Seth Rollins with Buddy Murphy. Now, this is similar to the Pat McAfee Adam Cole match. Because you're not expecting much from Dominik, but he pulls out some stuff that kind of impresses you here and there. Yeah. But he does have a lot more training, obviously, than Pat McAfee does. I mean, so
he's a Landstorm alum, so he has some training.
It's just similar to the way you go in thinking of it. Like you don't really think too much of Dominik because you don't really know how much training he has or whatever the case may be. But he did a very, very good job in this match. The hoodie part, like he's wearing a getup that has a hoodie on it. I don't think that was smart because he keeps having to pull it back because every time he bends over, it goes over his head. I think it was a bad idea on his part to go with that. I'm surprised they approved it for him to go out like that. But it was pretty interesting. But funny thing, Rey Mysterio comes out dressed up in the Phantom gimmick, that getup that Rey Mysterio had in '97.
No, Seth comes out dressed like that.
Seth. Yeah, Seth comes out dressed like that. Like Rey Mysterio in the Phantom shtick from Halloween Havoc 97, we took on Eddie Guerrero. So a little shot at Rey
Classic match.
Mysterio.
If you've never seen that match, you have to go watch that match. One of the best matches of all time.
Yeah, you got to go watch that. It's a nice purple like Phantom get up from the movie The Phantom. So yeah, no, very solid match. You know, a lot of back and forth. Frog splash hit by Dominik Mysterio. The kendo sticks come into play. Dominik really beat the shit out of Rollins with that kendo stick, really welted him up a lot. The most interesting thing about this was that, you know, Dominik didn't want his dad to get involved and jump in the match. It was no DQ, so he couldn't. He wouldn't lose the match, but he didn't want his dad to get involved. His mother came out. Ray had to stop the mom at the ramp, and then they started. Then Murphy was about to put Dominik's eye into the steel steps. Ray saves the day. They start fighting them off, and then they start using the kendo sticks on Ray. They handcuff Ray to the ring ropes and have him watch as Dominik gets his face stomped into the mat. So I already thought that was good. For the story purposes towards that, but I thought it was really good. It made Rollins a real hateful son of a bitch in the end of it, to do all that stuff right in front of his parents. Very, very good. I'm gonna give this one 4 Barry Horowitz. I really enjoyed it, mostly because of the story, but the match itself was also very, very good as well. And Dominik really came out okay in this match. The hood thing is just, I thought it was bad, the fact that he had the hood, but very, very good job from both guys, and just shows how tremendous of a wrestler and performer that Seth Rollins is.
This match was again a great build-up. It's been months and months of building the story up. Different matches with Ray, Dom being involved in and out. I mean, again, just storytelling where if you do a good story, you're going to be enthralled by the match no matter how good it is, really. Dom coming out looking like the Blue Arrow. I mean, I guess, with like you said, with the hood thing, it was kind of weird. Whatever. You want to go out there, you want to be your own guy. Good, cool to be there. He did a great job in the match. There were some times where he looked like he was a little bit winded, a little bit gassed, but it is what it is. I can't know was the last time he was in a huge match like that. Never. It's first time, so it was what it was. The aspects of the mom, the parents being there, and like seeing their son just take an ass beating, and the ruthlessness of how evil and maniacal Seth was being, it just added to it, and growing Seth as the Messiah, as this evil heel, and just like a prick. And that the more he does that, the better. And this helped it out so much. Him beating Dom was like I called. You needed to do this. You had to bury them and destroy them and show why you are the biggest, baddest son of a bitch on the planet, the most evil, person on the planet. And that was the goal of this. And they did it, and it was awesome. We got the emotion of parents, of Dom, everything. Even the end when Ray was hugging Dom after he lost, like that was emotional. If you're a son and a father, like you can't help but have some type of emotion, with that, like feeling that. So they did a great job with this. Loved it. 4 Barry Horowitz for sure. I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah. Tremendous match, but even better story behind it. And
story.
The emotion put into it, but very good storytelling throughout the entire time. A long story going, arcing across months, and it was very, very well done. Shout out WWE, shout out to Seth Rollins, the Mysterio family, everybody involved. They did a very, very good job with the story, and the storytelling really showed in the match.
But let's end it here. Let's have Messiah do something else. Let's put Mysterios in the back burner. Maybe they get their comeuppance later on the road. But right now, let's let Messiah do something else. And
let him
he's
go
been involved for a while. So but great job, WWE. Great job.
4 Barry Horowitz on that. Next thing on the show, Raw Women's Championship match. Asuka's second match of the night versus the champion Sasha Banks. Pretty similar to the Bayley match. I'll give this one 1.5 Barry Horowitz. Just because the wrong was righted, because Asuka probably should never lost that title, or she should never lost it the way she did, and that convoluted garbage that they threw out there to Extreme Rules. But Asuka wins her title back. Not as much interference from Bayley here, but the funny thing is that what they did. This is the best thing about the match, was that in the Bayley match, Sasha took the bullet for Bayley. In this one, Bayley sidestepped the bullet in the same move, that butt bump that Asuka gives out. And right after that, she got Sasha and the Asuka lock and made her tap out. I mean, you hear Asuka crying for Bayley as she's been in the submission. Bayley, like asking her to help. Bayley was knocked down on the outside. There's not too much of a gripe between them though, because she lost the title. It's not really Bayley's fault, you know what I'm saying? Because she sidestepped the butt bump, but still got hit in the face by Asuka after that. So it's not really too much there. Maybe they should have maybe they should have showed Bayley like on the outside, maybe looking like she was going to get up, but she just didn't, or something like that, or really milking it. And you could tell that she was faking it to kind of further make the rift between the two. But yeah, Asuka's your new Raw Women's Champion. She'll probably go on with Shayna Baszler or Nia Jax or somebody else like that. And then we'll probably end up seeing maybe the actual breakup of the two, Sasha and Bayley, next week at Payback when they take on an unknown team for the defending their tag team women's championships.
Probably the Iconics, because who else?
I mean, yeah, who else is there really? So it could be the Iconics, something like that. But yeah, I give this 1.5 Barry Horowitz, and it's just both these matches just take a hit because of the storyline behind those is very all over the place.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this a 1. I didn't like the match. I don't know. I just wasn't behind the match. The match wasn't great. It was whatever's. And then, like you said, like the whole why is Sasha supposed to be a Bayley? Bayley still got hit. It wasn't by the butt bump, but it was still by an elbow. So it was what it was. Like, is that really gonna break them up? Yeah. Is that the one thing? There's been way worse done between them two, where you figure that would have broken them up, and this is like I tried, but I tried to avoid the butt bump, and I got hit by an elbow. Like whatever. So this is a miss, complete miss. Just let Asuka do her thing on Raw. The ladies can go to Smackdown and go hop and hop for tag teams, whatever. But like, I don't know, like even if they break up Sasha and Bayley over this, it still just kind of ruins the whole build-up that has been going on forever. So I don't know. This whole thing was a mess for me. It's a miss. It's a poor use of all these women. They could have been done so much better, and they really dropped the ball. Sometimes it just makes me, it just boggles me that they can do something as good as Sonya and
Mandy
and Ray and Dom and Seth, and then have some drop the ball like this. Just like it's wild sometimes. It's just wild. I don't know how it falls through the cracks.
So we gave Bayley and Asuka 1. We'll give this one a 1 as well. 1 Barry Horowitz for this match. Next thing on the show, WWE Championship match. The champion Drew McIntyre defending against Randy Orton. This is nice, good old fashioned pro wrestling match. Some good storytelling behind it. A lot of raw emotion coming from Drew McIntyre. And this was very, very good. Very physical match. They got a little bit of blood in here accidentally. And I just really enjoyed majority of this match. It was really well done. The physicality between both guys, real back and forth throughout the entire match. Really, really well done. I'm going to give this one 3.5. Barry Horowitz. Drew McIntyre does come out on top with a backslide. He was going to go for a Claymore kick. Missed. Randy Orton went for the RKO. They turned into a backslide, and that's how he gets the win. So it doesn't really – it's kind of a fluky win, right? So it's not really like a clean Claymore kick win. Boom, the death of Randy Orton. Like he puts a nail on him right there at the spot. It's kind of a flukier win. They stared each other down as Drew was leaving. So there could be still some – something here between the two of them. But very good old-fashioned wrestling match, solid storytelling. He put the figure 4 on him. Shout out to Ric Flair, because obviously what happened to Ric Flair. But very, very good. A lot of back and forth, good physicality. Enjoyed the match. I give it 3.5 Barry Horowitz.
Yeah, this match gets a three Barry Horowitz for me. Good match. Again, like you said, it's good storytelling. Just an old school match. Both guys went out there and did what they had to do. The finish I liked. I was just kind of disappointed that an Edge or a Christian or Ric Flair didn't come out and just kind of screw Randy. I think would add a little more to it, to me anyway, just because it brings out the emotion. But I think it's a good way to just have it where, like, you beat me by that much, bud. Next time, can you do it again almost? Like, can Drew do it again? And I'm sure that'll lead to either a payback match or later on, whatever. But good, great match. They did a great job. The ending, I liked it. And maybe tomorrow I'll be like, you know what, that was the right call, instead of having some smosh finish where a guy came in and like screwed it for Randy, whatever legend it was, or Christian or Edge came back, whatever. But it was definitely a nice match. It got the job done. It keeps Drew strong. It keeps Drew dominant. It also has Randy where, like, damn, I messed up, but it wasn't like, I didn't get my ass kicked. So I liked it. 3 Barry Horowitz.
Now, they could have went like funny thing. They could have went with Shawn Michaels, maybe doing something, because everybody's been giving him shit for the way that he got up after getting punted, and he didn't really sell the punt like that. So they could have had Shawn Michaels come and do a switch in music because he didn't sell the shit anyway. So, but that's a funny little thing right there. Okay. I said 3.5. You said 3. We'll give it 3 Barry Horowitz on that, just so I don't have to put the half up there. Next thing on the show, the Falls Count Anywhere match for the Universal Championship. You had the champion, Braun Strowman, versus the challenger, the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. The match, I mean, look, you did the swamp fight, right? And you can't really go normal or like in a normal direction after that. So
You could,
but they went the way they went with a normal match, just a hardcore match. They were hitting yourself with objects back and forth. Really nasty table bump from that Bray Wyatt took on the table. Really nasty. It looks like it knocked the wind out of him, maybe hurt him. Maybe he has a back injury after this, but yeah, it was just them beating each other up, using like weapons and weapons and weapons. I just don't know. It didn't hit that much, the match for me. And then, Braun breaks down a box cutter. I thought he was going to try to cut him. I ain't going to lie. I thought that's what they were going with, the box cutter spark. Braun takes out the box cutter. I thought he was going to try to cut him, but he didn't. He cuts the mat and then unveils the wood, which you've seen before a few times. Now,
the new there, bud.
He breaks him down on the wood. He hits Sister Abigail on Braun Strowman on the wood, which is like Braun Strowman survived drowning in the swamp lake, and then he comes back and beats him. So, those little, psychology lapses here and there, or common sense lapses. But your Fiend wins the championship, pins him by putting Sister Abigail on the wooden planks. So I'm going to give this match 1 Barry Horowitz. I would give it 5 just because of what happens after the match. So let me get your take on the match, and then I'll talk about what happened after.
Same thing for me. Just like as the third match, you expected something bigger, a better payoff, a better feel for the match. The match just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It was a hardcore match. It was just a lot of it felt like a longer version of their backstage brawl from Friday Night Smackdown. Yeah. That's what it felt like. They went into the Gorilla. I was cool. First time I ever seen Gorilla, whatever, blah, blah. They went back out. The ending was weird. I don't know. This match just was a miss for me. I didn't enjoy it. It was the worst one out of all the 3 by far. There was nothing there for me. So definitely a 1 Barry Horowitz. Just disappointing, very disappointing. I feel like Braun's just now going to get pushed to the side and to the wayside, and just kind of. And where was the Alexa Bliss payoff? There wasn't any Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, we haven't got the payoff for the Alexa Bliss part yet.
Yeah, I'm just like
that's another thing that really disappointed me in this match.
Yes,
no Alexa Bliss, nothing.
No Alexa Bliss at all. You had her, and she hasn't been there for 2 weeks. She was there 2 weeks ago when she slapped him. She wasn't there this past week. It just kind of, what was the point? Well, she didn't do anything as a character that grew her character or did anything. It just it really didn't affect Braun. Did it affect Braun? Was he worrying about Alexa Bliss the entire time? No, just that fell flat. This ending was kind of
the water cooler booking right here. What they should have probably done was have the first match they had, the second match be the hardcore match, and then the third match be the swamp fight match. But now me saying that, you maybe wouldn't have been able to do that because of who returned after this match. The Fiend in the ring with the Universal Championship, he gets speared, and Michael Cole seems to not know who it is, the person that speared him. You can obviously tell it's the Big Oos, Roman Reigns. The Big Oos is looking swole. He's looking mean. He's looking nasty.
He's got new teeth.
And he's got new teeth. Yes, his teeth look absolutely perfect. He's probably hanging out with The Rock a lot because he's been working out with him, and got his teeth done because it's
perfect teeth.
Absolutely perfect.
My
set
God,
of teeth on that guy.
What a smile! Colgate commercial smile.
Insanely symmetrical and even and everything.
And his jawline felt like a lot more sharper. He looked different.
He did look. He had a different look to him.
But it was a beard, or he lost some weight, whatever the hell.
I think he may have lost a little bit of some body fat. Maybe that's what makes his face look a little bit slimmer, but he looks super huge, super swole, super mean. He takes down Bray Wyatt, then he attacks Braun Strowman with a bunch of chair shots, and he talks shit about how he made Braun Strowman, and he ain't shit without him being there, and then they need him there, and then he takes the title from the Fiend and talks shit to the Fiend. So our dreams may have finally come true. Roman Reigns may be a heel, fingers crossed that he turns heel. If not, maybe they finally let him loose and let him be his actual self. And if they have let him do that, as Chris Jericho has said before, this man can be a problem, and he could be one of the biggest stars. He can maybe
take his rightful place.
He take his rightful place as the successor to John Cena, and that can and will happen if this is true, and they let him be himself.
Yes,
and if he's heel, maybe if he's heel, it helps.
Not even heel, but just like a tweener. Just let him be a tweener. Let him do what he did. He'll attack somebody with a chair. He'll beat the shit out of somebody. You just be the badass. Be the big dog. Be that guy that's like, I'm not gonna take your shit. I'm gonna kick your ass. Even though I'm not gonna lie, the chair shots, he was hitting the damn floor way too much.
Way too much. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
He was not hitting Braun. Basically, he was tapping Braun, which I guess is safe, but it looked kind of crappy. Not gonna lie. But yeah, I mean, if he's the guy that's gonna come in, just whip ass, this is my yard. I destroy everything. I mean, sky's the limit. That's what we wanted for him. We didn't want him to be John Cena. He's not John Cena. He's never going to be John Cena. He's never going to be the clean-cut baby face, blah, 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 blah. No, he needs to be the big monster that he's always meant to be.
Yeah, so more of a Shield Roman than the Roman after the Shield. But let's see. I mean, I think heel might be the best way for him to go and get to that spot because when he turns babyface, he's going to be super popular. But if they just want to go with him as just a tweener and be a nasty, mean son of a bitch, that's cool. As also, I really like his demeanor when he came back, that he showed when he was beating both guys up and all the trash he was talking. But like we said, let him be himself. Everybody said it. There's been multiple people that have said it. Let him be himself, and he will be the biggest star in the business. And a total possibility. I mean, if they let him be himself and let him do what he wants to do and really book him correctly, he can be the next, big star. Really, I mean, I'd say he's already a big star, but the next guy who really carries the company straight throughout, and it's not the guy who either, who just gets booed because everybody hates him. John Cena got booed, but there's still a lot of respect there because it is John Cena.
Yeah, because he's the guy. Like he was the guy.
The guy. Yeah. So this is maybe the turning point, and maybe it's the perfect teeth or the big physique that he has now, but he looks
or his new jawline.
He looks really good. And let's see where they go from there. So really excited to see Roman Reigns. I think everybody's gonna be super excited to see what happens with him. Friday, this is the jolt that Friday Night SmackDown needed because it's been very lackluster and the roster felt very lackluster. So be excited to see him come back and show up on Friday Night SmackDown, and excited, super excited for that. But guys, that's the video we have for you today. That's our
wait! You can't end that like that. Oh, you can't end it like that.
Correct.
We're gonna bask in his glory.
There was also a video package tomorrow night. Monday Night Raw will be the Monday Night Raw debut of the limitless Keith Lee after losing the NXT Championship at NXT TakeOver 30 on Saturday night. He is leaving NXT and moving up to the main roster on Friday. On Monday Night Raw.
He lost.
Now we know why he lost. He's moving up to Monday Night Raw, and it's going to be interesting to see how they book him here because a lot of these guys, sometimes they come up from NXT and they don't do that well because of bad booking. So
Ricochet, Finn Balor,
we'll see what happens with the limitless Keith Lee. But thank you for reminding me of that. Keith Lee tomorrow night, Monday Night Raw, will make his debut on the main roster. But that's the video we got for you guys.
Wait. So not ending it. I mean, Retribution. We didn't get anything. Did you get anything in Retribution SummerSlam? Not even a little bit. Not even like a messed up little thing. Did I miss something messing up? Like the screen was nothing.
Well, there was a part where Dominik Mysterio was talking to Ray in the locker room, and the screen was kind of like messing up a little bit. I'm not sure if that was just maybe the feed that I was getting during WWE Network, but I don't know. No Retribution, so there's nothing real much to talk about there. I don't understand why there was no Retribution on the show.
Come on, man.
But they weren't there. Now, that's the video we got for you guys. Appreciate you guys for watching. Remember, for those more people, now do the job.
Later, Marks.